it is to win in this building, Adrian. In Tad Boyle's tenure, those 13 years, an 83% winning percentage here in Boulder.
Yeah, taking advantage of the high altitude, but it's a fundamental coach. He's the all-time winningest coach here, has earned his stripes, and I believe he and the infield are the longest-serving coaches in the Pac-12. So he's been fantastic, and Dana Altman.
Nearly another turnover as Yakimovsky was mobbed in the near corner.
Three possessions, 3 turnovers.
Maybe it's the altitude you mentioned there, AB.
Slow down. Drink a V8 and drive a V8. Slow down.
Here's Mohamed Gay chucking up a 3. Not a great look for the 19% three-point shooter on the season. And A.J. Simpson driving, a foul on the floor. Kyle Smith, AB, is in his 4th year at the helm for Washington State. And this is a really good three-point shooting team that he has. They lead the conference in three-point percentage and three-pointers made per game. They knocked down about 9 as a team. And, you know, really what he told us yesterday is when they're healthy, he feels like they're a top 40 team in the country. The problem is they have not been healthy this year, at least consistently, as Tristan Da Silva knocks down the mid-range jumper.
Yeah, you are what you emphasize. And when you look at them, they are first in conference in threes made, as we talk about, with almost 10 a game. And then the fewest turnovers. They have really been controlling it the last 3 out of 4 games.
A.J. Simpson behind the back after the steal. Couldn't finish. All 5 of Colorado's points so far have come from Tristan Da Silva. As here is TJ Bamba going in wildly. Bamba back after missing 3 games with a hand injury. It was his non-shooting hand.
It's a very loose wheeling and dealing game right now. Neither team has settled in and gotten themselves a consistently a good shot.
It's been 3 minutes without the Cougars scoring a basket. Here's Jabe Mullins trying to find an angle, and a foul committed by KJ Simpson. That's been all Tristan Da Silva so far for the Buffs. Little head fake, dribble, and a finish. Buffs up by 1. The main attraction. Take a look, AB, at the three-point shooting this season for Washington State. As we mentioned, really leading the Pac-12 in a trio of categories. And Jabe Mullins, as an individual, the junior from Washington, is ranked 5th in the country in three-point shooting percentage this year. So he's been leading the way, but as a team, a very good deep shooting team.
Yeah, exactly. And they get Jade the ball and catch and shoot, so he doesn't create like a Steph Curry. Not call him a Steph Curry, but Steph can get it off the dribble. He likes to catch it and shoot it. They know what his strengths are, and they play well to it. This should be a well-played game once both teams settle in.
Well, so far, it's just been a turnover fest between these two teams. Washington State is just 1 of 5 from the floor with 3 turnovers. Colorado is 2 for 3 from the floor with 5 turnovers. As the aforementioned Jabe Mullins is at the free throw line. This guy came over after playing 2 years at St. Mary's, was the #1 recruit in the state of Washington a few years ago, and has found a home in Pullman and gives the Cougs a 6-5 lead.
Yeah, years and years ago when I played, I was a hometown guy, so I always have a sensitivity for guys that can fit going home, because some people, you got to get away from family or get away from a crowd that you're running with. But I always love to see, I got a soft spot for guys that can return to their hometown and play.
Caught in no man's land. Here's Luke O'Brien for Colorado, trying to go high off the glass. Not there. DJ Rodman out with it for Wazoo.
Better possession right there. You can see that coming. They took their time.
Ball movement.
Yeah, they used both sides of the floor. You could see them settling in. This is after the first 4-minute block, so that was a good possession before it even happened.
Is KJ Simpson, second in the conference in scoring this year, 17 points per game. Him and De Silva are a really nice 1-2 punch for this Buffs team. Loose ball as O'Brien tried to force one back inside to De Silva. It's turnover number 6 for Colorado, who trails by 3 6 minutes into this ball game.
Winsu, number 31 with the ball, a freshman from France, is going to be a good player. He can score going to the basket. He's got to be guarded.
Shot clock down to 3 as DJ Rodman clanks one off the rim and over the backboard.
Eric twice with DJ Rodman. They had him shoot a shot. His is a lot of catch and shoot. He had to put it on the floor. Colorado won that last possession.
Yeah, AB Washington State has had a lot of uncomfortable shots so far. They're 2 of 7 from the floor. Good defense so far from the Buffs, who are just allowing 67 points to their opponents on average this year. As Simpson leans into that one and makes the first bucket, Julian Hammond, the first bucket for Colorado in about 4 minutes.
Both teams are unselfish. They don't come down just jacking shots.
As a corner 3 is good for Koumani Winsu, as AB just mentioned, the freshman from France. They actually started for the France national team, the U18 team last year before joining Washington State. And that's a nice drive inside as the Colorado offense starts moving a little bit.
Yeah, got going. That's a good drive by Hadley. He's a glue guy. Think of a P.J. Tucker. Doesn't run a lot of offense for him and does a lot of dirty work, setting picks and rebounding. Tough matchup right here.
Amba was trying to find Muhammad Gay in a tie-up. It'll stay Washington State basketball. Our big Monday ACC Big 12 doubleheader on ESPN and the app. Duke is in Blacksburg taking on Virginia Tech at 7 Eastern. And then we'll take you to Waco for Keontae George. And number 21 Baylor squaring off against Jalen Wilson and number 2 Kansas. Big Monday ACC Big 12 doubleheader. Speaking of Baylor, Washington State losing a really close game to Baylor earlier this year. It's a good take by Justin Powell. Count the bucket. He will go to the line. We'll talk a little bit more about the close losses that Washington State has had this year. There's been a bunch of them. We'll tell you about them when we return. But one more look at the drive by Powell. He'll be at the free throw line on the road in Boulder when we come back. You see the season snapshot for Washington State. 4th year under head coach Kyle Smith. They're 9-11 overall, 4-5 in Pac-12 play AB. But I mentioned it before the break. So many close calls. They had 4 games, one against Utah, one against then number 11 Baylor, UNLV against then number 11 UCLA. Those 4 games, a combined 12 points was what they lost by in those 4 games. So they've been knocking at the door. And they beat Arizona on the road. So it shows you what kind of potential they have, but still a sub-500 record ultimately.
And then throw this in there. They have the 9th toughest schedule in the nation. Are you kidding me? They are top 10 in who they played against. So with this kind of basketball, the reason they're so competitive, Kyle Smith does 2 things very well. They shoot the three-pointer very well, and they challenge you on the defensive end. So this is a true 3-and-D kind of a team.
Yeah, there's another turnover on Colorado. You saw how both of these teams started shooting and where they've gone from there as Washington State continues to heat up after starting 1 of 5 from the floor. That is Andrei Yakimovsky. Boy, are they happy to get him back in the lineup after missing the first 10 games of the year.
Our awesome company, ESPN, says repeat your best stuff. So you saw that last possession, a turnover, D. And then coming down, Yakimovsky, a 3. And then right here again, you see the gray jerseys at home, probing, trying to get an open shot. Washington State is not going to give them anything. They've got to earn it.
Biggest lead of the game for Washington State, and a nice defensive effort up top for Adrame Jean, another freshman, a 7-footer from Senegal, who was ranked number 42 on the ESPN 100 list before choosing Washington State. So both him and Mohamed Gay in Pullman, Washington, by way of Senegal. And we mentioned, AB, how good this Washington State team is shooting the three, but it's defending the three as well. They're number one in the conference at three-point defense.
Yeah, 28%. So they don't give you anything. They
side the three-point line and drains the mid-range jumper, and Tad Boyle wants a timeout.
Everything is cooking right now with Washington State. They are putting on a masterpiece. They have earned a 10-point lead on the road.
He's the team's leading scorer, 17 points per game.
I believe, what, number 2 in conference, Big E?
Yes.
I think also. So he is, remember Kevin Johnson, the mayor? He played with the Phoenix Suns way back in the day. He reminds me of a KJ. He's gifted. He's talented.
The only thing we're missing is a round mound of rebounds somewhere down low.
Don't pick on our 90s. That was my era.
Gay, sloppy possession. He tried to get the handoff to Powell, or excuse me, to Yakimovsky. And turnover number 4 on Washington State. I mentioned Simpson just scoring his first bucket as the leading scorer for Colorado, but for Washington State, AB, both Bamba and Gay have yet to score a point, and they're up by 8 points.
Yeah, right now, because Bamba really looks rusty. He's 0 for 3. He's sat out for the last couple of games, and then the length with Lovering. Lawson Lovering is really long and active and can challenge Mohamed Gay.
Yeah, Lovering out there, number 34 for Colorado, the big 7'1" center from Cheyenne, Washington. Wyoming. Very highly touted out of Cheyenne Central High School, number 71 on the ESPN 100 list. As Colorado gives the ball right back to Washington State, nearing the 9-minute mark here in half number 1. Again, Washington State has never won on the road in Colorado. They're 0 for 11. Will today be the day they get their first W? Tip followed by Gay, not there. Good job on the defensive board by KJ Simpson.
See if Simpson again calls his own number, gets it. He can take, it's like a wide receiver. He can take the top off of the defense with his speed and quickness.
Good move by De Silva.
Yes.
Nice touch, AP. That looked like you back in the day, little baby hook.
Don't try it. Don't try it. Last we played, you beat me. I've become a weekend warrior. That's okay. But he reminds me of Kyle Kuzma, 6'9". This young man, that's one of his favorite shots. He missed it. That was a good look. But De Silva, yeah.
I was going to say, AB, his brother Oscar, of course, played for Stanford, was all Pac-12 there for the Cardinal. There's a miss underneath by Neek Clifford, the junior from Colorado Springs. Colorado shooting a good percentage, 6 of 9 from the floor, but they have trailed most of this first half because of all the turnovers. They've got 9 of them. Under 8 minutes to go, those turnovers have led to 9 points off turnovers for the Cougs. They're up by 6.
For you, and respect I have for the legend, I just wanted to know if he was on the golf course with his team or something. What's up with your boys?
The Orange are hanging in there this year. You know, not blowing any doors off, but we're okay. As good defense near the logo for Colorado as Dylan Darling, another freshman on this Washington State team, got caught in no man's land.
One of the all-time great names, Darling. Way to go there. Move your feet without fouling. Good job. That's coming off of Colorado's first free throw attempt. Think about this. They played nearly 16 minutes and have not been to the free throw line until that last possession.
That's 3 straight turnovers for Washington State as De Silva. Good ball fake, a drive, and one for Tristan De Silva. Boy, what an impressive move. Put the ball on the floor. AB Euro stepped after the head fake.
7-0 run, and this is because this reminds me of Kyle Kuzma, 6'9", has the European step through and then finishes. Now he just had a pump fake on a very good DJ Rodman defender and then drew a foul on Muhammad Gay.
Talking to the Colorado staff, what they're impressed with is they knew, what he showed last year, his capability from the offensive end, but this year has really improved his defense and especially his rebounding. 5 rebounds on average per game, and he's really starting to spread the wealth on both offensive and defensive sides of the basketball.
And here's the crowd that's awakened, enlivened.
It was a 10-point lead for Washington State. Now it's down to 2 with 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Mullins driving, extra pass, Rodman for 3. No.
Good shot, good ball movement. DJ has been hitting that shot. What we say, he's averaged 14 points in the last 6 games.
He's been playing well, shooting 55% from 3 in those 7 games. But Colorado on the doorstep, an 8-0 run at home.
Championship resumes.
This is not a final exam. This is a midterm.
It's a top 10 showdown and a clash of old school blue bloods. Experience the SEC Big 12 Challenge doubleheader Saturday on ESPN.
Sonic blockbuster. How about Joe Lenardi, the bracketology? 10 teams from the Big 10 right now penciled in. 8 from the Big 12, 7 from the ACC. Boy, it's been an interesting week for Kansas, hasn't it? AB losing at home, a tight one to Kansas State in overtime, then getting the doors blown off against TCU. It'll be interesting to see how they respond on the road against Kentucky.
Yeah, this is midseason form right now, and in conference play, you are so well scouted. So if you can get a win on the road, that really does help your strength of schedule.
Washington State looking for their first win on the road against Colorado in program history. They're 0 for 11. They got to stop Tristan De Silva. Not only is Colorado on a 10-0 run to just tie the game, AB, but De Silva's got a dozen.
I just saw this against Oregon where he was wearing out a very good N'Faly Dante. Now I'm seeing that again with the pump fake, the Euro step. He's mixing up his offense.
Good defense underneath by De Silva, just like we talked about right before the break. Blocking Rodman from getting it through on the baseline.
It's a bad switch. Try to see if you can find De Silva again.
Big man Lovering a little far away from the basket that he'd like to be. 10 on the shot clock now, going back to De Silva inside the paint, using his muscle and just working Justin Powell in the block.
Well, I didn't like that one because DJ Rodman switched off on him and he got lost for the last 30 seconds. He's got to be a no-switch kind of player on that. And it's not a quick switch, so he's got to stay attached to De Silva.
Not a good shot from Bamba from 3. The loose ball is a held ball. Lovering down there in the pile. 16 points in the paint, AB, and that most of them coming from De Silva. That's where he does his work. He's gotten really deep in the lane where he's catching those passes.
Well, remember the first time out we talked about that Colorado was not comfortable. I thought an early start really messed with their rhythm and their routine. Now coming out of that timeout and since under the 10-minute mark, they've gotten comfortable. Watch him now. Watch this De Silva. Just flows easily. He and KJ Simpson with the ball.
Simpson driving. Drew a couple red jerseys to close in on him, and a whistle called against the Cougs. So 12-0 run, or excuse me, AB, a 12-0 run for Colorado. As Muhammad Gay, you see his 3rd foul, 0 points. That is not a recipe for success if you're the Cougs.
Well, we talked about him in the open as a star, and right now he has not gotten a wake-up call because the audience is not seeing the best of Muhammad Gay. This young man can go, but right now it's a disinteresting performance in the first half.
He's coming off a 20.7 rebound performance in the loss against Utah earlier in the week. Scoreless here in this one as De Silva takes a seat for Colorado. And KJ Simpson, the sophomore from West Hills, California, part of the Pac-12 all-freshman team last year, has really turned it on as a sophomore, averaging 17 a game, but misses the free throw there with just a click over 2 minutes to go here in the first half.
Winsor can score in the box down low.
Good head fake and a good finish for Washington State as Andre Yakimovsky is up to 7 points on 3 of 4 shooting.
Now, right now, going in, it's getting ready to be a minute and a half left to go in the game. Both teams will feel good about what they're looking like. The best player for Washington State, Muhammad Gay, has not scored. He's one of the most talented players in the game.
Do you feel like as Muhammad Gay takes the pass down low there and a whistle on the baseline, do you feel like they're trying to force it to Gay a little bit too much, AB?
No, not at all. I think they need to get him some easier shots, but there's no real true point guard on the floor for him. Like a KJ Simpson that can break down the defense, draw 2 people, and get him a shot.
Mullins has struggled shooting as well, which is a problem because he's their big 3-point shooter. He's just 1 of 2 from the floor with 4 points.
Right now, you had a... Yeah, I'm sorry. Go, Big E.
No, I was just going to say Mullins hasn't even attempted a 3-pointer yet in this game.
One is they're closing out on the shooters. They're committed to close out on the shooters. Remember, this is the top 3-point defending team in the Pac-12.
Mullins had to let it go. 3 on the shot clock, and that is about a bad a look three-point shot that you will ever see Jay Mullins take. Good job by Colorado again.
That was the defense. The defense closing out. That's about 3 times. I saw DJ Rodman. DJ Rodman has not gotten it going from the 3-point line. Quick, committed closeouts. And then Mullen, like you just said, has not had a 3-point shot attempt until that bailout. And that's a compliment to Tad Boyle and going against the strength of Washington State.
45 seconds to go and a 1-point lead for Colorado here in the first half. Simpson lost it off his hip. Still 15 on the shot clock. Back to Simpson. Tough leaner in the lane, ripped down by Muhammad Gay. Difference of a 1.5 seconds between the game clock and the shot clock for the final 25 seconds. Colorado still does have a foul to give if they wanted to use it.
The way they're defending, they don't have to foul on this one because there's no separation.
5 on the shot clock. 2 to shoot, nowhere to go. Boy, what a bad possession to end the half for Washington State.
Compliment the defense of Colorado waking up and then just slowly cutting off the strength of Washington State, which likes to drive and get it to shooters.
Last second heave does not beat the buzzer. Tristan De Silva and Colorado finished the first half on a 13-2 run over the last 6 minutes of gameplay, and they take a 26-25 lead into the locker room. De Silva leading the way, a perfect 6 of 6 from the floor with 14 points. After the break, we'll send it to the studio. 1-point game at half here in Colorado.
20 minutes down, Sunday Hoops. Come on inside our ESPN halftime report with Alfonso Ellis and Coach Seth Greenberg. Kevin Connors in studio. Busy day in the Big Ten. Number 3, Purdue. Bonds jumped out to a 16-point lead on Maryland.
Well, they were able to knock down shots, but of course you got to contain Zach Edey, and he was brilliant on the interior early on.
Credit Maryland, though, Coach, for getting back into this game with their defense.
They got back in the game off the defense, created easy offense, playing ahead of the defense. 8 turnovers for Purdue in the second half, and Purdue struggled shooting the 3-point shot. 2 for 13 from the 3. Right, really impacted some of their spacing.
Julian Reese down low, cutting the lead to 3. Fonz, one last-ditch effort for the Terps, but it does not happen.
Able to come up with it, got it off. Just couldn't get the right angle.
I'm surprised Morton tried to run through that pass. Keep the ball in front.
Yes.
Purdue gets to 19-1 on the year. So, Fonz, they led by as many as 16.
Yes.
Gaudy effort by Maryland. Purdue pulls it out.
Yeah.
What's your big takeaway?
My big takeaway is that Purdue can still win when they don't shoot the three ball well. But with Zach Edey on the interior, he's able to get one-on-one because they shoot it so well from the perimeter. Today, he was still able to dominate the game, and they were still only 2 for 13, Seth. So a team that can win without shooting it well, it's a good win by Purdue on their home floor.
Yeah, my one concern would be Purdue didn't do a great job when Maryland extended their defense, turned them over. On the other hand, this is Purdue's third game in 7 days. A young player having to raise their temperature. Purdue's the biggest game on everyone's schedule. To have to raise your temperature, play a game, 24 hours, boom, turn around, play another game is not an easy thing to do. All they need to do today was win. Maryland, by the way, they're getting better. Undersized, but really competitive. Jameer Young's played at a high level for them.
And Purdue gets again to 19-1 overall on the year. Elsewhere in college hoops today in the Big Ten, Minnesota and Michigan. Boy, a scary scene in the first half. Jet Howard holding that ankle. Had to be helped off the floor, obviously. A tremendous player for this Michigan team who managed to get shooting in the second half from Doug McDaniel.
Yeah, Doug McDaniel made some shot, but in the second half, they played through Hunter Dickinson. Hunter Dickinson had 15 points in the second half and 7 rebounds. Hunter Dickinson, with Jet Howard out, he had to be more assertive, and he was.
Well, after a slow start, when Dawson Garcia picked up his second foul, that kind of got his mojo going. 2 of 2 after he went out of the game.
And the Wolverines got one out in a 60-56 win. Indiana, Michigan State. What a shooting performance put on by Tamar Bates, Fonz.
Tamar Bates was knocking that thing down, 5 of 6 from the three-point line, and that opens up the floor for Trace Jackson-Davis to be able to go to work inside.
Trace Jackson-Davis, the last 2 games, 33 points, 12 rebounds a game, 4.5 assists. But I thought it was what Indiana did defensively, taking A.J. Hoggard out of the game, taking Tyson Walker out of the game. You take those 2 guys out, Michigan State's going to struggle offensively.
Jackson-Davis, a dominant factor in this one. He went for 31, 15, and 5 blocks in a Hoosiers win.
You'll love this. It's like a heavyweight fight.
Taurasi for 3.
Watch out! 2 premier programs in the women's game.
What a matchup it'll be in Knoxville. 2 of the all-time top programs in the women's game. 5th-ranked UConn and Tennessee comes your way Thursday. 8 Eastern. Game day will be in the house to get it started. 7 Eastern on ESPN. UConn men in action taking on the Butler Bulldogs today. UConn just 1-4 in their last 5 games.
Danny Hurley with the mask on, that's really good. It helped him with his relationship with the officials. There's no doubt. But the other thing that helped them is that UConn only had 4 turnovers in this game. They had 55 combined in the last 3 games.
Hawkins was great. Calcaterra, Sanogo down low. What an inside-out combination they have, Fonz.
There's no question about it. Adama Sanogo was really making quick moves down in the box, and that's really good for him for scoring the rock.
Calcaterra, Sanogo puts it away. He had 17 and 14, the big fella did, in an 86-56 win. Coach, 1-4 in their previous 4 games before Sunday. What did you see from UConn on Sunday?
It's real simple. They got to take care of the basketball. Obviously, Butler's not a team that's going to turn you over a whole bunch. They let you run your offense. They want to keep you in front. Guard play needs to continue to improve. If it doesn't, they'll have issues, the teams that get up and underneath them.
I like the fact that Adama Sanogo was dominant today. You know, he's just been okay over the last 4 or 5 games, Seth. He was catching that basketball, quickly making his moves on the offensive glass. 17 and 14 today. They're going to need that kind of dominant performance for them to go deep to the
like the
NCAA
14
tournament.
rebounds.
Indeed, no doubt about it. Big bounce-back win for the UConn Huskies. We remind you, Big Monday comes your way, 7 Eastern, Duke and Virginia Tech in the ACC, and then the Big 12 finishes it off. Kansas and Baylor from Waco, and your second half is coming up next.
The 1-point advantage for Colorado at home against Washington State. Pac-12 basketball on ESPN as we're ready to start the second half from Boulder, Colorado. Eric Roth and Adrian Branch here with you. And AB, boy, it was a slow start for the Buffs to get going in this game. But once they got going, the final 6 minutes of the half finished on 13-2 run.
Yeah, mixing up their offense. Tristan Da Silva has been a star in the first 20 minutes.
There's Silva, as you mentioned, the star of the show so far. He's perfect, 6 of 6 from the floor, 14 points. What makes him so dynamic, AB?
Well, he made adjustments to the offense, the defense. Look at that. The mid-range game, the step through, the jump hook, three-point shot, getting to the free throw line. So he can score at 3 levels. And he's been hard to guard, as we talked about in the open.
Colorado trying to snap a 3-game losing streak, sitting at 11-9 overall on the season. As we take a look at the first half summary, Colorado shot the ball pretty well, 11 of 19, but they turned it over 11 times. And to be fair, though, AB, 9 of those turnovers came in the opening 10 minutes. So they really calmed down, settled into things. They were able to keep Mohamed Gay for Washington State really out of it. 0 for 4 from the floor, 0 points, and that's when De Silva started cooking.
Yeah, you're right about that. Everything that you just said. Now, what I want to do is establish my best player and see if we can get Mohamed Gay an easy shot or get him to the free throw line. So let's see if they make that adjustments, running something for him early.
Silva, perfect 6 of 6 from the floor. Gay, 0 points. TJ Bamba, the second leading scorer for Washington State, had a couple of nice drives to the bucket, but he was limited as well. So really it was a bunch of role players for Washington State in that first half. You had Yakimovsky with 7 points, Justin Powell with 7, Mullins with 4. They really need the big guns to kick it into high gear here in the second half if they want to have the program's first ever win in Boulder. They're 0 for 11 as a program on the road in Colorado, as Washington State starts the second half with the basketball as Rodman is harassed up top. 10 to shoot now for Yakimovsky. That's a nice move underneath. Got his own rebound. And reset on the shot clock. Back to Yakimovsky as Washington State picks up their 4th offensive rebound of the game, and a whistle up top and a hand check foul on Colorado.
Yeah, if you think about this in a boxing analogy, you wanted to get your boxers to the corner. Washington State feels good. They got out of the first half. Their leading scorer has not touched the ball. He's in the scoring position now. Let's see if they can play with a sense of urgency.
Offensive foul against Washington State. Washington State coming into this one having won 3 of their last 4. And a really good 3-point shooting team. AB, they're number 1 in the conference in 3-point makes per game at 9 and 3-point percentage at 36, but just 2 of 8 from 3-point range here in this one as Mohamed Gay picks up his 3rd foul.
Yeah, the audience can't see this one, but there were about 3 or 4 different clips where they ran the shooters off the 3-point line. When I'm talking about Washington State, Colorado did a good job of concentrating on that.
Colorado making it a point to limit the opportunities from 3 for Washington State. We'll see what they can do here, up 1 a minute into this second half. Shot clock winding down, and a tough shot on the far side from Hadley. And a whistle is going to go against Washington State. And it'll be Colorado basketball. Grame Jean, the freshman, picks up the foul. Excuse me, lost it out of bounds. My apologies. De Silva stays perfect. First bucket of the second half. He's got 16 overall.
You practice that every day. They were doing that in shooting drills right there. To catch and shoot, 1 step, in rhythm. That's a thing of beauty.
How about an old school offensive performance, AB, as Colorado and 1 underneath. Colorado has only attempted 2 3-pointers in this game. They've gotten it done in the mid-range and in the post.
Look at the movement right there. You practice that every day. Step in, 1, 2, rise up for the shot. Very good. And then moving without the basketball. TJ Bamba, he's missed a couple games. Now he's back, their leading scorer, and trying to make an impact in the second half.
Bamba misses the free throw. Remains a 1-point game. Silva, 17 of the 28 points for Colorado. Loose ball. Bamba all over it. Numbers for Washington State. Gets it back to Yakimovsky for the easy lay-in. And Wazoo takes the lead by 1.
Eric, remember you were telling us earlier in the stats, telling the audience that they were in more games, 9 out of 10 games, where it was under double figures. That's an example why they always give themselves a chance to win, because they compete so hard. Right here, just wrapping up the double team. TJ Bamba, their leading scorer, making the extra pass. Love to see that one, helping a teammate.
They play hard. They get down on defense. They've played the 9th toughest strength of schedule, according to KenPom, in the country this year. And that foul will go the other way against Colorado. And I believe it was an illegal screen on Lovering.
Now, both big guys had that call. And the guards, the wings, have to help the big. You got to have 1,000, 1,002. Let them get set and then come off of them. So both teams actually got their big guy that foul.
13 turnovers for Colorado, 11 for Washington State. Not the crispest game we've ever seen in our lives, but it's okay. It's a tight game, and that's all we ask for.
I want to hear you say crispest 3 times.
And they're going to count the bucket. Another drive, another finish, and another foul for TJ Bamba. It seems like AB, he went to the locker room and said, okay, I need to turn it on here in the second half.
Yeah, and knocked off the ring rush. Remember, his first 3 possessions were really sloppy, but he hadn't played in a few games, so you got to pick up on the timing and the rhythm. And then also, you're playing at altitude, but Washington State is an altitude school as well.
He needs to hit his free throws. He's missed 2 in a row. It's a Washington State 6-0 run after Bamba's back-to-back buckets. Missed the previous 3 games with that hand injury. Nice move. Backdoor cut. Goaltend. KJ Simpson will get the bucket.
Moving without the basketball. Being patient. Now, the good thing is, both stars are back in this game. KJ Simpson right here, the second leading scorer in conference, moving without the basketball. He's very quick and very explosive.
Colorado 11-9 on the season. They've lost 3 games in a row. They had won 7 of 8 prior to that. And another and one for TJ Bamba, the 3rd in a row, as he is going right at the Colorado defense. And they've had no answer for him.
Well, you got to back off of him right now. Everything he scored has been 5 feet from the basket, but he's strong enough to finish in traffic.
All 8 of Washington State's points in this second half have come in the paint. Bamba started the game 0 for 3, 5 of 6 since. He's made now 7 of the 9 points for Washington State here in this second half. Just the first time, though, that he actually converted the 3-point play in his 3 chances. It's a 9-2 run for Wazoo.
Let's see if Tristan Silver can pick up where he left off. He and KJ Simpson. Nice crossover.
Nice move by Simpson. And sent packing by Drame. Drame Zhang, that is. Simpson got it right back. Goes right back at Zhang. Zhang standing tall. And it'll be a held ball. Colorado will retain possession.
Now, for KJ, as talented as he is, you're not going to win that in close range with a 7-footer. Right here, you penetrated, over-penetrated. Where you going, young man? Kick it out to your shooters.
Whistle on the floor against Washington State. Tad Boyle, 13th year at the helm for the Buffs, and says he really loves this team, loves the fight of this team. They've just, lacked that consistency, lacked the execution and focus that he'd hope to have at this point of the season. 11-9 overall record. Wins against Tennessee, Texas A&M, Oregon. They've had some bad losses too.
Yeah, we talked about that in the open, that they have to be consistent. Both teams have to come up there and be consistent with who you are, playing with the identity.
Well, the identity for Colorado has always been defense, and I mentioned that win against Oregon. They had that back-to-back against Oregon and Oregon State. Those 2 teams averaged 42 points against Colorado in that back-to-back. I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah, and quite frankly, I thought they were selling. I said they have that identity of grit and grind. They should be good for the rest of the year, because up to that point, Coach Tad Boyd was still waiting on them.
Another made bucket, this time an and one for Tristan Da Silva. And a chance to pull the Buffs within a point.
If you look at Colorado, the last 3 possessions have been their 2 leading scorers. KJ Simpson outside being fast. And then right there, Tristan Da Silva mixing up his offense.
Well, they're really going after Adrame Zhang, the freshman, with Mohamed Gay on the bench with those 3 fouls. And now Da Silva, 19 points, a perfect 8 of 8 from the floor. What a game for him. The Cougs looking to respond.
Yeah, you would think that Colorado was up by 10 points, but they're actually down by 1.
Backdoor cut, and Zhang threw it out of bounds. Under 16 minutes to go here in the second half. The Cougs on the road, clinging to a 1-point lead. A 34-33 lead for Washington State, clinging to a 1-point lead despite the fact, AB, that Tristan Da Silva has just been raking them over the coals. 19 points, 8 of 8 shooting. The rest of the team only has 14 points.
Yeah, the efficiency, when you see 8 for 8, and he's mixed it up. It's been a 3-pointer. It's been off the dribble. It's been a catch and shoot. He has put together a masterpiece. Last time I called a game, it was against Oregon, and it was a statement. He's got to do that every game. I'm going to give you a motivational minute. You ready for this, Big E?
I'm ready. I'm always ready to be motivated by you, AB.
Oh, man. A man or woman's greatest ability is their dependability. Man or woman's greatest ability is their dependability. So he's got to be dependable.
He has been looking for his 6th 20-point game this season. Still 15.5 minutes to go here in regulation. Eric Rothman, Adrian Branch with you. Boulder, Colorado. Mohamed Gay back out there for Washington State on defense with those 3 fouls. Another elbow jumper for Tristan Da Silva as he continues to cook. 21 points, 9 of 9 shooting.
That's what makes him extremely special. We talked about the former Ute, Kyle Kuzma, that won a championship with my beloved Lakers, now down in Washington. Mixes up his offense. He reminds me of that.
Mohamed Gay still looking for his first points of the game, averaging 14 of them coming into this one. 0 for 5 from the floor. And been mired in foul trouble as well. An offensive rebound and a reset. Julian Hammond tracked that one down. Now Hammond will fire the 3. Just the 3rd 3-point attempt of the game for Colorado.
Now, 23 moving without the basketball, just filling the soft spot in the defense and catching and shoot. I love, love, love when players don't overanalyze the game. No paralysis by analysis. And you're seeing that. And, Eric, you just said the word. He is cooking.
Oh, absolutely. 1-point lead for Colorado. And credit Washington State, though, AB, despite the gigantic performance by Tristan Da Silva, they're still hanging in there in a place that they have had no success in as a program. 0 for 11. They've never won in Boulder.
Careless turnover.
Away from the basketball. Oh, you're right, AB.
Yeah, that should never happen there. That does not endear you to a winning play right there. This young man, Winsu's going to be good. He's a freshman from France. He's like a Tristan Da Silva. He can score at 3 levels, and he'll only get better.
The pass by Da Silva, Lovering underneath the bucket. Da Silva for 3. It's his first missed field goal of the game. O'Brien tried to tip it back in, but lost it going up. And now Colorado just 1 of 5 from 3-point range.
Trying to get the ball to Mohamed Gay. Good job by Lovering. 7'1" against 7 feet. This is a fair matchup.
Gay faces him up. Finding Jade Mullins, who's only got 4 points in this game. 5 on the shot clock. That's a tough one for Winsu. Quick outlet. O'Brien lost it. Bamba gets the steal.
Look for him in the post. You got to look for your star player. He can be effective. That's a good job by Lovering, just using his length, not giving up any angles.
Lovering just standing in front of Bamba, who ran into him. Gay misses another field goal attempt, this time a three-pointer. He's now 0 for 6.
And I think that's what his first shot in the second half, so he's fishing for his offense.
Yeah, his second. He had one on the last possession, missed it close up. So he's 0 for 6 in the game. No points, 3 rebounds for the big fella. Drive by Hammond, who's fouled. And he'll go to the free throw line.
Colorado has an ace in their sleeve, and it's called Tristan Da Silva. Anytime he's ready to go in the flow of the offense, they've had no answer for him. And that's pretty good because DJ Rodman is an all-conference kind of a defender, and so is Bamba. Bamba is a very good defender as well.
Julian Hammond, the third at the free throw line, coming off a career-high 18 points in the loss against Washington. He was scoreless in the 2 games prior to that, as Da Silva checks out of the game. Yeah, basketball lineage as well, AB. His father, Julian, played pro ball in a country I know you love, where you played pro ball in Australia. And his father, or grandfather, Julian Sr., played for the ABA Denver Rockets.
Oh, man.
Hammond gets one from the free throw line, and you see the stats there on the left side of your screen. A 7-0 run for Colorado, who's up by 3. Gay just trying to get something going, forces that one up. He's now 0 for 7 from the floor.
Yes, it's a clunker right now.
Offensive foul as Javon Hadley lowered the shoulder, and Tad Boyle less than pleased.
Well, he's thinking he's inside the block charge, but he did run him over. That's a foul. That's a foul on the court, off the court. In Australia, where I played and my daughter was born, that was a foul.
Here the Boo Birds at the CU Events Center. 12.5 minutes to go here in regulation. I'll get one of those giant hats, AB. That's what I need.
Yeah, but people would say, if you got it, is that for ego or is that for your head? Now, which one is it? So be careful with that, because you got game. You're real smooth with it.
I don't know if I'd look smooth in a hat like that. Mullins missing the long 2-pointer. That's another one.
LA teams. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, AB, we talked a lot about the fact that Mohamed Gay has struggled offensively for Washington State, but Jay Mullins has struggled as well, as he's top 5 in the country in 3-point percentage this season, averaging 11 points per game. He's just 1 of 4 from the floor in this game.
Well, a couple things have happened because Mohamed Gay has not got it going. Like Tristan Da Silva, they don't have to double team and collapse it. Typically, Mohamed is rolling, collapsing the defense, and they kick it out to the 3-point shooter.
So Lovering is at the free throw line. This is the front end, as Washington is, both teams now in the bonus. Bamba trying to find an angle. Good defense underneath by Jalen Gabadon. Grad transfer from Yale. Whistle the other way as KJ Simpson driving in and drawing the contact. Under 12 minutes to go here in the second half. Colorado up by 3 at home. You see Mohamed Gay in the huddle during the timeout for Washington State, trying to figure out, how do I get off the schneid here? Gay is 0 for 7 from the floor in this game, also having to deal with those 3 fouls. Meanwhile, the other player that we focused on in the open, AB, Tristan Da Silva, near perfect, 9 of 10 from the floor with 21 points, but still a very winnable game right now for Washington State. They're only down by 3.
Still very much attached to it. Defense is about priority, and Mohamed Gay is the focal point of that. Lawson Lovering, 7'1", moves his feet very well, has done a good job just occupying his space. Very few people in conference have been able to slow him down.
It's an 8-0 run for Colorado over the last 4 minutes And change now with KJ Simpson at the free throw line, making a 9-0 run. Gabe back to the bench with those 3 fouls. Eric Rothman, Adrian Branch here with you. Boulder, Colorado under 12 minutes to go in regulation. Powell, good ball movement in the far corner. DJ Rodman, as Washington State has not had much luck from 3 in this game. They're now 2 of 12. Make it 3 of 12 as Rodman got it on the other side, 3 of 13, and got that one to go.
Good job by DJ. I'm so happy for him. The coaching staff has been imploring him for the last 3 years. Be aggressive, be assertive. He can knock down that shot, and he's seeing the rewards of his efforts in his senior year.
Gabadon, nowhere to go. Hammond tried to go the same route, same result, but a whistle bails him out. He'll send Julian Hammond to the free throw line. You mentioned Rodman, AB, and the team wanting him to shoot more, and he has shot more over the last 7 games. Came into this game on a 7-game streak where he was averaging 14 a game, shooting 55% from 3. And he slowed down a little bit in this one. That was his first bucket, just 1 of 5 from the floor.
Yeah, I think he's a pro. I played against his dad, Dennis Rodman, and Dennis had no fear. He's a multiple world champion. I think DJ is a pro from this regard. And I think Bamba is a pro, where you're seeing him like a Lou Dort on the offensive end. Well, DJ, that's a walk and a charge. Oh. There's a lot going on in that possession, Big E. Break that down for me, sir.
Well, Bamba was driving in, backing down Hammond. And a flop, I believe the flop was called. Was a flop called on Hammond?
They called the flop, but
so you
could have gone either way.
So you count the bucket, and now because of the rule change this year, it's a Class B technical foul.
Sure.
And so you see Powell shooting the free throw to give Washington State the lead. So a big play there as Bamba gets another. I mean, that's essentially his 4th and 1 of the half. I mean, it doesn't count as an and 1 for him, but they got the free throw regardless. He has gotten a lot of whistles being aggressive to the basket.
Yeah, and again, that's his strength, going to the basket, just like you just mentioned. Go straight up right there, Lawson Lovering, you're 7-1, the jump hook.
Now Colorado trailing by 1. Simpson lost it for a moment. 6 to shoot now. And a whistle away from the bucket. It's going against DJ Rodman. Not a foul you want to take with 5 on the shot clock.
Well, I was talking about him in the earlier possession. I think he's a pro from this regard. He reminds me of Jason Hart that played at Villanova. He leads the nation in charges, 21 a game. He plays bigger than his 6'6" frame. I think he's a 3-and-D kind of a player.
Austin Lovering to the free throw line. Highly touted recruit out of Cheyenne, Wyoming, after the foul on Rodman. Misses the front end. And our big Monday ACC Big 12 doubleheader on ESPN and the app. Duke is in Blacksburg taking on Virginia Tech at 7 Eastern. And we'll take you to Waco for Cal State George and number 21 Baylor squaring off against Jalen Wilson. And number 2 Kansas. Big Monday on ESPN and the app. Lovering missed them both. Here's Bamba again. Kicked out of bounds by Gabadon, and it'll stay with Washington State. Do you have to start bringing over more of a double team on Bamba? He's really going after the defense of Colorado.
No, not after that last possession. Gabadon, he tried to cross him up on his bread and butter move, and he was right there. I like that matchup. Let's see that one again.
Gabadon, who's been out the last 6 games with an injury, coming in and having to guard Washington State's best player. We'll see how he does. The ISO in the corners. Mullins looking for somewhere to go. 7 to shoot for Rodman. Forced one up, and Simpson just ripped it away. KJ Simpson blocked on the other end. Hammond got it back. He misses the turnaround, and Wazoo comes out with it as Yakimovsky clears it.
Outside of Bamba, Colorado has a quicker foot speed, so you're seeing in their offense they're not able to break you down and get an easy shot for themselves. Watch the gray jerseys just sticking close with the maroon jerseys.
Well, it should have been another turnover, and it is.
Now Eric, you're a technical guy, which I love. Make sure my colors are straight. Am I saying maroon the right way? And then
I think that's accurate,
gray?
yeah.
Okay, we'll go with that one.
15 turnovers on Washington State. 1-point lead for the Cougs here on the road. It's been a tight game throughout. Washington State led by 10 early in the first half. Good turnaround inside for Javon Hadley to give the lead back to the Buffs. 9 minutes to go here in regulation.
Midpoint, it's anybody's game. Both teams have felt each other's out. Nice ball fake.
Left alone underneath was Jay Mullins, and a great feed from Andre Yakimovsky.
Yeah, they're both playing. Remember, you had a stat earlier that was amazing. They have been in 9 out of 10 games. They've been under double figures in possessions coming down to the home stretch.
Well, they've had a lot of games. They're 3-7 in games that end on under 10-point margin. De Silva, whoa, it was ugly, but it went in. Was mobbed inside the paint. Somehow gets it to go as Tristan De Silva has 23 points.
He can make that shot, that long Euro step.
Rodman driving, clotheslined, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Seeing upperclassmen feeding off of each other. DJ Rodman putting together a beautiful senior year. Last 7 games, he's averaged 14 points a game at over 50% from outside. And then TJ Bamba, their leading scorer this year. So these guys, you are what you emphasize. Both teams emphasize teamwork, fundamentals, and playing for one another.
And again, Washington State keeping this game close despite 0 points from Mohamed Gay, who has been on the bench for most of this second half with 3 fouls, as you see TJ Bamba checking out for a spell. So some of the ancillary players having to carry the weight with Gay out as Rodman makes the free throws. Washington State 8 of 11 from the line, but Washington State's gotten some contributions from Yakimovsky, who's got 9, Powell's got 7, and Mullins has 7 to pick up the slack for Mohamed Gay. Whistle, foul on the floor, no basket. And we'll step aside. It'll be free throws for Colorado when we return. Under 8 minutes to go in regulation here in Boulder.
Mohamed Gay, 6'11", off the charts kind of a talent, has not gotten it going yet. Folks, we talked about how good he is, and he has not been able to get comfortable coming down low. What Colorado has done an excellent job of crowding his space. They're still tied up. Washington State would say, I'll take that. My best player, my NBA prospect, has not gotten it going in his 4th year of organized basketball, but we're still going to go to him.
0 for 7 from the floor, and you mentioned it. They're still in this game, despite that performance or lack thereof from Gay on the offensive end. A 43-43 game here with Javon Hadley at the free throw line for Colorado. Eric Rothman, Adrian Branch here with you. Pac-12 action on ESPN. Washington State has won 3 of their last 4 coming into this one. Colorado trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Both trying to chase that 500 mark in Pac-12 play. Washington State would get there with a win today. Colorado still 3 under that 500 mark. 7.5 minutes to go in regulation. Let's see what Gay can do here, guarded by Tristan De Silva. It's a handoff to Yakimovsky. Now 4 on the shot clock for Mullins. Not there on the finger roll, and a good rebound by Gabadon.
Excellent job of defending, coming out of a timeout without fouling. The defense was set.
Hadley one-on-one against Gay, who's got those 3 fouls. Kicks it out to Simpson, driving, no. Defensive rebound in the clear for Washington State.
You got to find Gay right there. This is where you take 1 or 2 dribbles and go straight up. No shot blocking, young man.
Boy, Gabadon will just guard anybody, won't he, AB? He was doing a great job on Bamba a few minutes ago, and now the mismatch in height doing a great job on Gay. What an excellent defensive effort that Gabadon's had here off the bench in the second half.
Yeah, and that's just a little inexperience, because if you were to say, Muhammad Gay, what is your go-to move? I think he's still learning that. So he did a good job of just holding it down till Lovering gets back in, and he's in the game now.
And there's Gabadon again, this time switched on to Bamba, who misses the turnaround jumper on the baseline. So Gabadon has been the defensive stalwart, guarding the two best players for Washington State. And now a whistle goes against Colorado, who leads by 1.
Called the hook on Lovering.
Lovering. Third foul on the big fella.
Well, he's also, we just talked about a go-to move for Muhammad Gay, and his is a top of the key right at the elbow. Lawson Lovering has to get an offensive identity with a jump hook, up and under, and he hasn't developed that yet, but he can.
Strong drive by Winsue.
Offensive goaltender.
Washington State scoreless the last 2.5 minutes. Ball will go back to Colorado after the offensive goaltending. I got to tell you, AB, if I'm building a basketball team, I always want a guy like Jalen Gabadon, who's willing to buckle up his shoes and get down on defense no matter who he's guarding. And he's been fantastic, really keeping the two best scorers for Washington State at bay and giving his offense a chance on the other end. That's no basket, as Tristan De Silva was fouled on the floor.
Yeah, that's well said. You need that jump yard guy, that guy that can mix it up. Now, he beat him to a spot. He beat Muhammad Gay and split the double team. He saw the double team coming, and he was quick enough to split those two. When you come to double team, you can't let him go through the gap.
I believe that's the 4th foul on Muhammad Gay. It is 0 points, 4 fouls. Not the afternoon that Muhammad Gay was hoping for. So De Silva at the free throw line. Reminder about our Big Ten ACC Super Tuesday doubleheader. We start in Champaign with Terrence Shannon Jr. in Illinois. It's a tough take from Bamba. A long offensive rebound that trickled out to Rodman for a reset. Now Yakumovsky looking for some help.
Look at how they're closing out on the shooters. Stepping above the three-point line and quick enough to get out just to challenge the shot.
Rodman, as the shot clock was winding down, it was a good cut, good idea, just too strong and a tough angle. Under 5.5 minutes to go here in regulation.
Now, there's no shot blocking out on the floor. Both 7-footers. As soon as Muhammad Gay was subbed out, then Coach Boyle subbed out his 7-footer just to put him on ice until he gets back in there. The game within a game.
Simpson caught with no man's land. 3 to shoot for Gabadon. And Gabadon in Colorado, boy, got bailed out by a whistle far away from the basket with about 3 on the shot clock. And both teams in the double bonus, so free throws upcoming for Jalen Gabadon, the grad transfer from Yale. Tristan De Silva continues his domination in this game. 27 points on 11 of 12 shooting. The rest of the team has 24. 11 of those 24 have been from KJ Simpson. Those two combining for 38 points on offense for Colorado. Final 3:23 to go here in Boulder. Eric Rothman, Adrian Branch here with you. What are the keys to the closing minutes here for Washington State, AB, who's got the ball down by 4?
Well, Washington State's got to look for TJ Bamba, and they also have to look for DJ Rodman. They've gone small right now, so they're trying to, can't turn that over. And now for Colorado, get it to Tristan De Silva or get it to KJ Simpson. That's the 1-2 punch that they've had no answer for in this game. You're seeing the zone now.
Yeah, bad decision by Jay Mullins, leading to the 16th turnover for Wazoo. sitting in that 2-3 zone. See if it throws off Colorado at all. Simpson fires a three. And a rebound by DJ Rodman, one of a few three-pointers taken in the game for Colorado. They're just 1 of 5.
You could see where that's a tough shot right there. That's a challenge shot.
A tough shot with a hand in his face. Andrei Yakimovsky knocks down the triple. He's got 12 to bring Washington State within a point.
You know, Eric, I was going to say that because they're a three-point shooting team, it's like boxing. If they have knockout power, and you can close the gap when you're a three-point shooting team. So they are always dangerous, even though they haven't been consistent on the offensive end in this game.
They were just 3 of 13 from 3 prior to that make by Yakimovsky. They go inside to Hadley. Nice turnaround and a finish for Javon Hadley.
Well, Coach Kyle Smith is going to go without his 7-footer right now. Muhammad Gay is not in the game, so you can go inside the paint on Washington State with a little more confidence. That's his strength right there.
Bamba, good drive. And the Colorado defense almost a parting of seas there as they didn't want to get in the way of TJ Bamba, who's drawn a lot of whistles in this game. Bamba with the bucket. Washington State down by 1. Andrei Yakimovsky had Tristan Da Silva in his face. Didn't matter. Back the other way. Javon Hadley in the paint against Rodman. The finish. Bucks up by 1. UConn, Tennessee women Thursday at 8 Eastern. Great rivalry that has been for the past few decades.
Always must see. Always.
Yeah,
they got
always.
more
Absolutely.
stars than sand on the beach. Boy, both programs have been loaded. Gee whiz.
This one is coming down to the wire here, Adrian. The final 143 in regulation. Colorado up by 1. Washington State still nipping at their heels. Every time Colorado threatens to pull away, the Cougs have the answer. We'll see how it plays out here in the final minute and a half. KJ Simpson to Da Silva, who's been spectacular. He gets double teamed. Gay is back out there with his foul trouble. It's 3 fouls. Da Silva fires the 3. Missed everything. Simpson tracks it down. Excuse me, that was Hammond who tracked it down to keep it alive for Colorado, but they cannot convert.
Yeah, now you've got Muhammad Gay back in. You've got to go to your best player. Tristan Da Silva is checking him. Nice ball movement. He can hit that.
Bamba, step back, head fake for 3. No. Gay, the offensive rebound under a minute to go. 15 on the shot clock for Bamba going up against Luke O'Brien. Bamba gets the friendly roll to give Washington State a 1-point lead.
Look at the character and a good timeout right there by Tad Boyle. The game within a game. Kyle Smith made the adjustment, put Muhammad Gay back in. It freed up a driving lane for TJ Bamba.
Well, how about the sequence of events too, AB, as you see the offensive rebound from Muhammad Gay to give Bamba another crack at it. Bamba has been so good driving to the bucket, especially in the second half. Has 3 and 1s, plus he drew a flop technical on Colorado. Gets that one to go in. But all of this, AB, coming after Tristan Da Silva had just his second missed field goal of the game on the other end. A tough time to miss a shot for Da Silva, and now Washington State up by 1.
Yeah, he's got to finish the show now. He has been out there. You don't want to be a teaser. He's got 27 points. He's been ultra efficient in 34 minutes. Let's see. It's going to be one of 2 players. It's going to go through Tristan Da Silva or KJ Simpson. I've got no problem with either one of those star players taking the money shot.
12th lead change of the game. Both teams in the double bonus. Both teams with at least 1 timeout left. Colorado's got 2.
Now watch this too, Eric.
Yeah, 11 second difference between the game and the shot clock as well for Colorado with the basketball.
They didn't bring Lawson Lovering back in. This is an offensive possession. Keep an eye on if they have to get a stop. If they bring the 7'1" long defender in to watch Gay and get a rebound or block shot. Looks like it's going to be a zone again. So far they're setting up in man, but don't be surprised if it's a zone.
Simpson harassed and a whistle. That is not the place on the court you want to take a foul in the double bonus. A rare defensive misstep by T.J. Bamba.
You want the honest version on Sunday, don't lie, because I just went to church. That was called a little home cooking.
Ooh, that's far away from the basket, that's for sure. Kyle Smith not happy about it. So Colorado to the free throw line. Simpson hits the first one to tie it up. Washington State 0-11 all time on the road in Boulder. Trying to eke out a win here, but Colorado, who's already missed 9 free throws. KJ Simpson makes a pair to give it the Buffs a 1-point lead.
I like the full court pressure, just occupying it. Now, remember, Washington State has had the 9th toughest schedule in the country. They've been here before.
Bamba driving and a whistle. So Bamba gets the whistle back on the other end, and he'll go to the free throw line now.
This is shaping up to be. This is his strength right here. Got no problem with that one. Got no problem with that one. That's good defense, moving your feet. I'm thinking the last one with the ball is going to win this basketball game. That's how challenging both teams have been towards each other.
Bamba 1 for 3 at the free throw line in this game. A 69% free throw shooter on the season. Again, this is his first game back after missing 3 in a row with a hand injury. And he misses another free throw. He's 1 for 4.
And you got to slow yourself down. Yeah, over the front rim, backspin, follow through. Slow yourself down. That was a little rush.
Colorado student section trying to get in his head. Bamba hits the back end to tie it at 55. Washington State will take a timeout. So now 26.5 seconds to go, AB. Colorado can hold for the last shot. You have to imagine whatever play Tad Boyle is drawing up right now revolves around Tristan De Silva getting the first look.
Yeah, and also I'd run the shot clock down, so I'm looking with 26 seconds to go. I'd run it down for 20 seconds and take that last shot at about 5 seconds. Well, actually, what is it? It's tied up. Excuse me, it's tied up. So I would run that down to where it is under 5 seconds. And don't shoot it unless there's 4 seconds left on the shot clock, because you have overtime in your back pocket.
Colorado does have 2 timeouts. If they want to come out of this timeout, throw the ball in, see what kind of defense Washington State is giving them. If they don't like it, they can call a timeout and regroup. Still plenty of time. Both teams in the double bonus. Possession arrow in favor of Washington State. We've had 13 different lead changes in this game.
You're seeing a little bit of everything right now. You've seen star power through Tristan De Silva and KJ Simpson. You're seeing coaching on both sides. You're seeing a masterpiece with both coaches trying to protect their weaknesses and accelerate their strengths. So this has been a well-coached game.
Neither team giving an inch. See T.J. Bamba out there, one of the best perimeter defenders in the conference. Can he stop a last-second shot for Colorado? Full court pickup here. 26.5 seconds to go.
And that's just to use a little clock to see if they fall back to a 2-3 zone. 2-3 zone help get them back in it. Get one trap and then get back to that 2-3 zone.
20 seconds to go as De Silva hands it off to Simpson.
Watch Simpson on the right hand. He's a strong right-hand driver. Running that shot clock down. Shouldn't make a move until about 4 seconds left, Eric.
Simpson with 7. Long 3. He hits it. KJ Simpson with 5 seconds to go. Buries the straightaway 3. Last chance for Washington State. Bamba to tie. It's off the mark. K.J. Simpson plays hero, and Colorado sneaks away with a 3-point victory.
Straight assassin, cold-blooded, cold-blooded, cold-blooded. Watch this right there, running it down and getting right there to his pocket. We've seen him close it out like that at Stanford. Wow. I'm going to ask for this man's autograph. He's a star.
And then Bamba had a chance on the other end with a few seconds to go. Good job by Hammond to put a hand in his face. AB, that was just the second made three-pointer for Colorado in the entire game. And boy, oh boy, did it come at the perfect time. K.J. Simpson, the winner for the Buffs, as they end their 3-game losing streak and improve to 12-0 all-time at home against Washington State. It was a fun one, AB.
Absolutely. Let's do it again. Thank you, my quarterback. Wow, what a beauty.
For Adrian Branch, I'm Eric Rothman saying so long from Colorado. Next up, high school basketball. Christ the King and Archbishop Stepanak.